Welcome back to the funding table. Imagine that you're just about to close. You've already packed your bags. You already have more or less like what you're going to be closing with, right? The date has been scheduled, and you get an email thinking that it's the title company to wire over your funds to close, right? And you send the money, and then you later find out, oh shoot, it was a scammer. And it wasn't the title company that sent you those instructions.
That's crazy.
And it seems like this is far-fetched, right? Because we're in 2026 and things should be better. And there's no scamming when it comes to real estate, you know? And
but it's happening.
But it's happening, you know?
Happening.
You do have us professionals that are out there looking for the best for the buyer's interest, seller's interest, but criminals in 2026 are sophisticated. Yeah. They're sophisticated, they're smart, they're techie, and they can weasel their way in no matter what.
And what's supposed to be one of the happiest days of a home buyer's life, they're getting ready to, get this home and close and start their life in this new home. Instead, they get robbed.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate.
And they lose all their money.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Like, imagine you, right, as a first-time home buyer, saving every dime, every penny that you can get to put a down payment on the home that, everybody, even when you're growing up, when you're in high school, you build these vision boards and you're like, I want a car, I want a house to my name. Yeah. You want the American dream, you save up for it,
right before the finish line.
Yeah, literally right before the finish line. You find out
it's taken from you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it happens often.
Yeah, there's reports of it happening, all around the USA. Mm-hmm. I recently saw a story that a home buyer in Florida who was buying like over a $500,000 home. A couple days before closing, had to wire his funds. He was inquired about by a scammer, pretending to be a title company, saying, "Hey, your closing's coming up. Let's wire your funds in." And he had sent like $140,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
And come to find out, he's thinking he's sending that money to close on his home, but really he just sent it into a scammer's bank account and he got robbed.
Yeah.
And I think he opened up a lawsuit or something like that to try and get that money back, but it could affect people with a lot of money and it could affect people with a little bit of money. There's another case where, a buyer had been saving up, like $8,000 or so to purchase their first home, and they were a victim of wire scam, and they wired those funds to a scammer, somebody pretending to be the title company, and they lost the money for their down payment.
Yeah.
There goes your home, and you did everything, and they did everything right up until the very end. They were a victim to wire fraud.
And not to say that they did anything like wrong, right? Because most of the times these scammers are using email addresses that are maybe a character away from the original emails. And so like some people feel under pressure. They get this email saying, urgent, we need your attention.
And they're used to like getting these kinds of emails like, hey, we need these conditions in.
Yes.
They're already in the home buying process where like, hey, when the bank asks for something or when they ask for something, I got to get it in, and I got to get it in a timely manner. So they're already like in that mode of, I got to get this in.
Yes. And luckily, like for me and you, we keep really close tabs to our clients. And when the conditions list gets sent out, we call them.
Yeah.
We go over the conditions with them. We let them know what's needed. So they do have that human interaction, and they know that it's coming from us. Or, if not, I have my clients say, hey, is this coming from you? And I could either say, yes, this is my team, or no, but like, it sucks because they fall into that trap of the pressure, and we're always warning you guys not to fall into pressure. If you have a realtor that's pressuring you, run. If you're getting emails like this saying urgent, wire your funds over here, beware. Don't answer that. Make sure that you call your realtor, your lender, the title company. Make sure that you have this information saved.
Okay, so let's go over like how they set this up, what it is. Let's go over, some of the specifics, because you may be hearing, wire fraud, and you may be hearing how people lost money and stuff, but let's try to lay it out simple and basic for somebody to understand.
Yeah, let's do that.
So obviously when it comes time to close on a home loan, there may be some funds at the end of the transaction that you need to bring as a home buyer to close, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 100, whatever the number is, those funds that you're to bring to the closing table. Scammers and criminals, can kind of wiggle their way into some of the information, and they then interject themselves into the transaction. They may pretend to be the title company. They may pretend to be a lender, a realtor, something like that, and they spoof the email address. They, make the email address very similar to your realtor's email or very similar to the title company's email address, off by 1 or 2 letters. And then they basically start up this email chain pretending to be someone involved in the transaction, and they send that email to you and they say, hey, look, it's getting ready. You're about to close. We're getting close to the time for your closing. This is what you need to do. Wire your funds for the closing. We're the title company. We're going to accept your wire, and those are going to be your funds that you use to close on your home. But they are not the title company. They are pretending to be the title company. They are pretending to be your realtor. They are pretending to be your lender as a trusted source so that you could comfortably wire that money over to their account when they're not involved. They're a scammer. And as soon as they receive that money, they're going to send that money off to many different places and hide that money, and you basically lost out on your funds. There may be some courses of action there with law enforcement and things like that, but they basically scammed you out of that money by pretending to be someone involved in the transaction, which is why you never want to wire money or funds unless you've spoken to someone first and you've spoken to somebody truly officially involved with the transaction. That means get the title company's number up front saved. That means your realtor's number up front saved.
Yes.
That means your lender's number up front saved. Get those things saved and concrete so that you always know specifically who to call if you ever get any kind of fishy email.
Yes. And if you do live in a small city, whether it's small or large, I would highly recommend you to go to your title company. And if you are planning on wiring funds, because we're not saying that wiring funds is an issue, right? You can wire your funds, but you have to have that critical information from the title company and have the instructions on where to wire. They're not going to send you an email later saying, hey, we updated our wire instructions. No, make sure that you either go in person. I would go in person. I would go in person. Yeah, if I'm sending thousands of dollars and I'm wiring that over to a title company, best believe I'm gonna go in person.
I will go in person.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to somebody.
Because I know if I go in there in person and I talk to the establishment, the title company, escrow officer directly, and I say, hey, I'm ready to wire the funds for the closing. What are your wiring instructions? I know I'm at the right establishment.
Right.
I know I'm speaking to the proper person, so I know that the wire instructions that they give me are going to be accurate. I would not trust that information simply over an email.
Yes.
It's just better. Like you said, if you're going to send 100,000, 20,000, 10,000, 5,000, you're going to send that money out via wire, you want to be absolutely sure it's going to the proper party.
Yes. And the title company is there for that reason too. They're there to help facilitate this. They are wanting to make sure that the transaction moves smooth and freely for you. So don't feel like you're burdening anyone. They're more than happy to help assist you with this.
Yeah, go spend 5-10 minutes there.
Yes.
Get that information.
Yeah, just a pop-up or call them. Just say, hey, can I just stop by real quick so you can help me with this? They're going to say, yes, come over.
And, little tidbit of information out there for you. If wiring isn't your thing, you always can settle with a cashier's check. You make that cashier's check, you take that with you to the closing table, and you don't have to worry about accidentally sending funds via wire to a wrong party.
Yes, I personally think that the cashier's check is a lot safer than wiring funds, because if you're off by a number, by anything, it could get sent to the wrong
account.
Wrong account. So I would personally prefer the cashier's check.
I would do a cashier's check, but there are people that enjoy wiring and are comfortable doing it and like the convenience of it. And so this is for you. Make sure you pay attention to this information.
And that's what it's there for sure. And I would also say a way to kind of avoid this at all would just be, like Sammy had said, just reiterating on that, make sure that you get the title company's information up front. And if you don't have that, you can talk to your lender, you can talk to your realtor to get that information. You can Google that information, and get their wire instructions, right? Second, when you're trying to wire over funds, make sure that you have the full amount that you're going to be going to the closing table with. So your lender should be providing that information to you, along with any wiring instructions when it comes to your final cash to close. So make sure that a human is actually telling you what you need to come to the closing table with, so that the chances of these scams happening to you are slim to none.
Yeah, and on that note, there may be other ways that they try and do this. They may send you like an email trying to inquire about more information to get personal information from you. One, you always want to make sure you run that stuff by your lender, by your realtor,
Right.
via their true contact information, their true phone numbers. Don't just click any link. Don't just input your banking information. Don't input your passwords. Don't fall for anything like that. Make sure you call us first and confirm that this is what you're supposed to be doing, and we'll gladly tell you yes or no. If it's truthful, we'll tell you, yeah, complete the step. If it's non-truthful, we'll tell you, absolutely do not do it, and thanks for bringing that to our attention. So anything that seems fishy like that, it's just better to double check and, you know, get the proper education, proper insight, proper information, so that you're not a victim of wire fraud and you're not a victim of scam.
Yeah, it's happening often, and it's something that we definitely want to just bring awareness to, because if you're trying to purchase a house, this is something that you don't want to fall victim to.
And if you have fallen victim to this, or you've sent a wire that you believe may have been done improperly or to a scammer, call your bank right away, see if they can reverse it, cancel it, call your lender and confirm, like, hey, I sent this wire that you guys asked for. You know, if you happen to do it after the fact, you know, they're going to tell you, no, we didn't ask for that. Call your bank right away, see if they can reverse it and stop it. And your best bet is that the bank could stop it right then and there and reverse it. But, you know, further action after that may be getting involved with law enforcement when it comes to, you know, big dollar amounts and things like that. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a protocol here that if anything like that happens, we need to make sure that we send out the information to the FBI so that they can do their own investigation. But it is serious.
Serious, man.
It really is serious. And like I said, these scammers are sophisticated in today's age. So you don't want to fall victim to that. I'll say it again. Cashier's check is a lot safer, right? Wiring is there for a reason. I know people like it. I know people feel comfortable with it, but it could pose a serious issue. So a cashier's check is always recommended.
And remember, these scammers, these people trying to perpetrate wire fraud, they're sitting all day behind a computer. They don't got anything to do. They don't have to go to work like you. They're not, you know, pressed for time. They can send out thousands of these opportunities and hope just one person slips up or makes a mistake or, you know, acts rashly and performs or falls into the scam, the trap that they've set. So
Yes.
be careful, be vigilant, be on top of these things, because we don't want you to lose your money, we don't want you to lose your house, and we don't want you to be a victim of wire fraud.
We know that buying a house, it can be stressful. So just make sure that, you know, you're taking the time to really review your emails thoroughly, just so that you don't fall victim to this.
I agree.
Remember, guys, the buying of your home should be such an exciting thing for you. So please be sure to take time, review your emails so that you don't fall victim of this scam.
Send this video to somebody that might be in the market to purchase a home, or is currently purchasing a home, or is thinking about it, so that they can be aware and be educated. One right phone call could help protect somebody's life savings.
Yes. And on the next episode, we're going to be talking about something that has sparked a lot of controversy here in Laredo.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's going to be a fun one. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button, because this is going to be an episode that you don't want to miss. Until next time, guys.
See ya.